So gentlemen, you are James. Let's come to the point. What were you doing at the cemetery at this time? We have received complaints that you were regularly visiting the cemetery at this time.
My name is James Carl, and I am a doctor. This is a bit long and weird story. A week before, my friend named Luther died. Luther was my childhood friend and my best friend, and he was a preservationist. As we have finished the funeral and was returning, suddenly I have noticed an old, unusual grave with lots of dirt and wines. After that, I have reached my home, and I was thinking about Luther. On the next day, I received a post, which was the autopsy report of Luther. Further inspection on the autopsy report, I have noticed something unusual, that the location of death. The autopsy report was showing Virginia, but on the last time me and Luther met, we were partying and had a couple of drinks and were smoking cigars. And Luther was saying that he was going to New York to his uncle's house. Later, then, his dead body was found in the woods of Virginia after 2 days of the death of Luther. The case of death of Luther was closed due to lack of evidences and information. The only thing that was running through my mind was a bunch of questions. Was Luther lying to me? Or how did Luther reach Virginia instead of New York? Then after, I became very curious and suspicious about Luther's death. Later that night, I have visited Luther's apartment, and I started searching for any clues to get an idea about what was Luther doing in Virginia. During the search, I came across an old pamphlet of a bakery named GOREST in Virginia. And that pamphlet was only the thing connecting to Virginia. Without any second thought, I have visited Virginia and started searching for the bakery. To my surprise, even the residents over 30 years don't know about such bakery in Virginia. This made me more confusing, and I had almost lost the hope of finding out the mystery behind Luther's death. On the next day, I have visited Luther's grave, and I was talking to his grave about our childhood memories and our countless parties. Suddenly, a wind blew, and an apple fell on top of an old grave. The same old grave that I have first seen in Luther's funeral. I had moved towards the grave and picked up the apple. The grave was covered in wines, and the names behind it was not visible. I wondered who is lying here, and then I started moving the wines, and now the names was visible. Then I had came to my home and was drinking a couple of shots of vodka. Suddenly, a wind blew inside the house through the window, and the newspaper had fallen down, and there was a word puzzle on it that remembered me of my friend Luther, because Luther was very much interested in these type of word puzzles. Further upon, I had got more drunk, and I had a sudden thought of the family grave. And I have written the names of their house and family members as in the order of the grave. On closer inspection, I had found that there is a hidden in the names of the grave. Now I had an idea about where to start the search. I had immediately took my car and I have reached the cemetery, where I made sure that the details wrote in the paper was correct according to the grave's name board. My assumption was right. The word GOREST is made of G-O from the Golden Meadows, R from Ryan, E from Eliza, S from Sophia, and T from Tyler. Then I saw the graveyard's guard. On further asking about the grave to him, the guard said that this grave was shifted from Pennsylvania to Virginia around 35 years ago. Also, he had said that he was not much remembering about the grave since it has been a long time. After hearing this, I have decided to visit Virginia the next day. I was laying on the bed and was thinking about a starting point for the search. Then I had inspected the paper which I wrote their names. On further thinking, suddenly I realized that I should search for Golden Meadows instead of GOREST Bakers. The next day, I have visited Virginia, and things get more serious. The people nearby also don't know anything about Golden Meadows. This made me feel more disappointed. The people nearby advised me to visit an old church father of Virginia. Then I have visited the old church father. The father of the church said that once there was a cursed grave, and it was a family's grave. Further, upon the father of the church had explained me the whole story of the grave.
The Golden Meadows was a happy family of 4, and Ryan, the husband and father of the family, was a butcher, and his wife was a baker who bakes awesome cakes in the whole Virginia.
One day, their daughter Sophia went to her father's butcher shop without informing their parents. In the shop, there was a meat grinder, which was grinding the meat. Sophia became too excited, and she shook her and looked into the grinder, and she had slipped and fallen into the grinder. She had suffered a painful death. But the sad part is that without knowing that Ryan brought the meat to his home, and they have cooked it and had it for lunch. Soon after, they realized that Sophia had not reached home from the school. Upon investigating for 3 to 4 hours, they have found the slippers of Sophia near the meat grinder, and they got to know that they have eaten their own daughter. The Golden Meadows family was completely broken on hearing this. On the next day, all the 3 family members committed suicide.
The father also said that the meat of the Sophia has been consumed by several people unknowingly because the meat was canned automatically after the grinding process. But I was still clueless and thought that why was this family related with Luther's death? Then I have arrived at Luther's apartment and I was searching the whole house again. On further inspecting Luther's apartment, inside the dustbin I had found an old rusted meat can named GOREST meats. Then I have realized the whole story about the death of Luther. As I said earlier, Luther was a preservationist. His job is searching abandoned old canned goods and researching on it. As per fate, Luther have came across with the meat can of Sophia, which had taken the life of Luther. Finally, I had met the GOREST grave and put flowers on it, and I had left the graveyard.
So what about the rest?